Corsica, France, a mountainous island covered with winding roads tighter as opposed to average autocross courses, and sort of place that first pops into your head when you consider suitable locations for that debut of the SUV. Yet there we had been, for the south side of Napoleon's birthplace, Wachi to shell out a day driving of the 2018 Jaguar E-Pace. Despite what its name usually leads you to believe, the E-Pace is just not Jaguar's upcoming electric crossover. That would be the I-Pace. Instead, the E-Pace is Jaguar's entry into the luxury side from the rapidly expanding compact crossover segment. It's a sharp-looking vehicle that wears the brand's signature design rather effectively and is distinguishable from its larger, though wildly successful V-Pace. On the lining, the E-Pace is intentionally more V-type than V-Pace. It incorporates the sports car's center console design and electronic shifter with the 9-speed automatic transmission. Like the V-type, the E-Pace also dispenses with decorative trim, sticking instead having a two-tone scheme. Passenger space is ample within rows and there's a lot of cargo space, 24.2 cubic feet using the rear seats up and 52.7 cubic feet with these down, but ergonomics can be a bit wonky. Neither my 6'4" self nor my roughly 8 shorter driving partner was able to find a really comfortable driving position. Elbow resting positions were either way too high or too low, for instance, and he or she also made mention that the end on the C8 bottom cushion rubbed against the back of her calves. The tech kit is standard issue Jaguar. There's the 10.0-inch in-control Touch Pro infotainment system as well as wonky UI, the optional 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, and handy full-color head-up display. Also, there's still the notable lack of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Engine choices with the US are tied to two gasolina drinking flavors with the Ingenium 2.0-liter turbo, making either 246 horsepower in regular flavor or 296 horsepower in aerodynamic spec. All variants come standard with all-wheel drive. We spent our day in the mid-level S aerodynamic, the location where the engine also provides 295 lb-ft of torque starting at 1,500 revolutions per minute. Aerodynamic versions on the E-Pace also receive Jaguar's active driveline all-wheel drive system, which adds torque vectoring functionality. According to the automaker, active driveline measures your rate, throttle position, steering angle, and acceleration to find out how much torque should be sent to the outer wheels so as to balance out handling characteristics. Jaguar claims that active driveline helps in reducing understeer while providing with the ability to induce oversteer for controlled drifts in low friction situations. Thanks to the pouring rain that accompanied us to the entirety individual's drive, such situations were plentiful, but Corsica's narrow roads are hardly right for sideways shenanigans. The inspiration with the pace suffix for Jaguar's SUV line comes from the old slogan of grace.space.pace through the 50s and 60s. Despite its compact dimensions, the 173.0-inch long E-Pace is a portly 4,175 pounds in aerodynamic spec thanks simply to a largely steel construction. That's an immense 500 pounds greater than our Four Seasons Mazda CX-5 and also the Range Rover Evoque, 200 pounds more compared to the Land Rover Discovery Sport, and in many cases 160 pounds more compared to larger V-Pace. In part on account of that heft and front-biased weight distribution, instead from the balanced and smooth experience we expected from the time in the V-Pace, we've got plowing understeer, particularly on downhill sections. Any noticeable pressure for the brakes sent top end downward into the Pirelli Scorpion Zero all-season tires. Curiously, there's no performance tire option. In addition, the E-Pace exhibits considerable body roll, impacting its chance to handle left-right transitions of the company's considerable mass. As for that engine, it won't win any awards for refinement, nevertheless it won't have some of wishing for much more power, either. The 9-speed is useful, too, shifting gears quickly and smoothly, particularly if directed to do it manually. Perhaps the E-Pace acquits itself better in other settings. Dry freeways should not be any problem, but Corsica's rugged terrain offers little room for straight roads, as well as the few that people did spend some time on hit frequently shifting speed limits that managed to get difficult to settle right into a cruising groove. Yet, despite its flawed handling and scale crunching weight, the 2018 Jaguar E-Pace will definitely be a success. The average potential buyer isn't likely to notice either on the usual urban streets, suburban boulevards, and wide freeways. Instead, they'll spot the sharp exterior, punchy engine, and quiet ride. 2018 Jaguar E-Pace aerodynamic specifications. Price: $47,250 base. Engine: 2.0 liters turbocharged DOC 16-valve I-4296 HP at 5,500 revolutions per minute, 295 lb-ft at 5,004, revolutions per minute. Transmission: 9-speed automatic. Layout: 4-door, 5-passenger, front engine, AWD SUV. EPA mileage: 2,127 miles per gallon city hui. LXWXH: 173.0 by 78.1 by 64.9 inches, wheelbase. 105.6 inches, weight. 4,175 pounds, 060 miles per hour, 5.9 seconds, top speed. 151 miles per hour.